what's the parish's view on this? Because as chair of Parish Council. Yeah.
The parish's view is that if we get enough support and people want to contribute either in their skills or money or time, whatever, to help take this on as a project, and the community can use it in some way, then we will aid that process. How the final outcome we don't know yet, because it depends on one, the support, and then two, the finances, and then looking at a business plan and everything else. But yeah, we're in support. If the community want to do it, then we will help.
There are two buildings, aren't there? So
there's this building, and then there's the schoolroom next door, which is probably a similar size. It's not quite as high as this, but a similar ground floor size. And it has been used for all sorts of clubs in the past. So there are lots of options for it to use in the future, I think.
Brilliant. Yeah.
I've been here for 30 years and I've only known people for the last 4 years. And it has just changed my life, and I want it to do the same for everybody else. You know, people that are moving in that don't know anybody, that have somewhere to go to meet up. And I've heard that we could get a mobile cinema once a month. It's free of charge. They leave you all the equipment and you choose the films you want. Sounds great.
So you're a resident in Ruscombe. Tell me what.
Yeah, we live just down the road.
Yeah.
So it has a beautiful atmosphere, the chapel, and it has a lovely feeling when you come in. But there's all sorts of potential for it. So upstairs, for example, could be kept as a sacred space or slightly extended, and then downstairs could be this wonderful space used for all sorts of different activities. So you could have any kind of interfaith activities there, but you could also have it a place for orchestra recitals. There's a fantastic organ, so you can have organ recitals, sacred music, concerts there, all sorts of other stuff like that. And then there's a space here that could be a cafe with a kitchen and outside toilet blocks, and this can all be cleared, and this could be a courtyard.
Yeah.
And because there's a door here, then this could be the cafe. So this would be the cafe.
Yes.
And then here you've got the kitchen, and beyond here, going towards the school hall, you can have a toilet block.
Wow.
Then the school hall could be for a resident artist. You can have art exhibitions. It could be for local businesses to have a local business hub centre. But you could have children's parties there, or dog walking classes, or ramblers, whatever. Anything that the village wanted could be a space where it could become the hub of the community, the centre of the community. And also because it's on the Cotswold Way, we could have facilities, the cafe and the toilet, to be then available for walkers who could come and stop here on the way before they carry on their journey.
That's why it's chapel. CHAPL.
How clever! Ruscombe Chapel at the heart of the community.
Yes.
Brilliant.
In the heart, sort of thing. Yes.
In the heart, yes.
Yeah, I think what's happening now is it would have been put up for sale by the Federation of Congregational Churches, but it's because it's being listed as a community asset by the Parish Council. We have about 6 months to put in an alternative bid to the Federation. So what we really want is we want local people to find out about it and show their interest, and really gather together to see what we all want it to be, what potential we all feel it has, and then maybe what contributions people can make. Do they have skills? Do they have enthusiasm? Would they like to help mobilise other people? And then we could all come together as a community project. So it become like a community building project that we could work together to make it again the centre of the village.
Now, yes.
Flower festival and
Yes.
teas in the chapel. You see?
Yeah.
And we used to come in here, we'd have a cup of tea and a biscuit or some nice homemade cake with beautiful flower arrangements.
You were in the amateur dramatics, weren't
Yes, we did rehearsals in the schoolroom, there was
Yeah.
a stage.
We were called Warp,
Yeah.
the Whiteshill and Ruscombe players.
I did see a couple of their performances when I first came here years ago, yes.
Well,
Yes.
it used to be, the chapel used to be at Zion Hill, because that's where the quarry was for all of the houses in the locality. And then it was getting too big for up there, so they took it down and then they replaced it here brick by brick. So they transferred it all from Zion Hill and they built it here. And it used to be, throbbing. So, and there used to be organ recitals here and all sorts of other activities here, and then in the school hall, and it was full of activities. There are lots of people in the village who remember having amateur dramatics there. And there used to be table tennis here, and all sorts of other activities took place actually in the chapel and in the school hall. So lots of people remember going to parties here or doing activities here. So Heather, who's just organising the Jews here, she used to be a member of the amateur drama. Two members doing Sound of Music in the school hall and stuff. So there's a lot of memory in the village for people who've really enjoyed it. When we had the open gardens, this used to be a place where people could stop for tea.
Yes.
And I can remember we did a pig roast once in the schoolroom, and all the playgroup mums were the serving wenches. And they put in a boar's head on a plate, and we were all in costume, and we had a banquet.
Gosh.
Absolutely
So what's your dream now to see this place? Would you?
We'd like it to be, for me, I think it would be super to be something that balances with our wonderful shopping cafe and Whiteshill and Ruscombe. We don't, Village Hall, we don't need to tread on their toes. I think it should be something different. I'd love it to be a walkers' cafe and a crafts exhibition.
The fact of the matter is, though, it's a village amenity in reality, and it's up to the village to raise money, organise, get a business plan. It usually happens with pubs when they close down their village amenities, and there's been some very good success, great successes. But
I mean, I'm happy to paint. I painted the other village hall around the other end. I'm happy to paint. There are
in
people
reality, you're going to
with
need about £300,000, aren't you?
Yes. And we have a good fundraiser.
So the Parish Council has done a questionnaire, and we've had the responses for that, and I think only a tiny minority have said they don't want the Parish Council to take it on board. But the next step really is we need a groundswell of feeling that it is something worthwhile, and from the wider Stroud community as well, because it's always wonderful to have a community space, especially ones which have got the history that this has had and the atmosphere that this has had. So that will make a great deal of difference.
That's great. So if people want to get involved, what's the best way?
Well, the best thing they can do is they can contact the Parish Council. Helen is the parish clerk. They can just contact Whiteshill and Ruscombe Parish Council and express their interest.